Sage.
Hey, Dani.
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back to Silence of the Hags.
We are your hags. Oh my god, this is 2 episodes in a row. I'm so proud of us.
I know.
It's gonna get to the point where I'm not even gonna have to say anything, and I can't wait for that.
I know.
Yeah.
One day.
So how are you guys? How are you doing? This is our second. Oh, tell us what is today's episode? What is it? Oh my god.
Ooh, today is our second serial killer episode.
Ah! Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but also not excited. But also excited, but not excited.
This one's pretty interesting, and I don't know how I never heard of it before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear about, so it's about Pedro Lopez, who is a Colombian serial killer.
Fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy. Literally fuck this guy. But he, I discovered him when we were doing our Zodiac episode.
Yes. Yeah, you did him.
Yeah, because I was just looking for. There was some of the signs were like kind of hard to find, like big boys under. Yeah, and that was when I discovered Pedro Lopez. He's a Libra. Libra wasn't a very common sign.
Because Libra is like the justice sign, isn't it?
Yeah, the idealists and yeah.
Interesting, with the hands holding the scale. Is that right?
I think so.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know much about Libras. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyways.
Also, sorry, just quick sidebar. The amount of people that have been doing their natal birth charts and messaging me about it.
Oh, really?
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. One of my friends sent me a screenshot of her natal birth chart. She's like, I feel like I'm reading a fucking essay about myself. I was like, yeah, I told you. And then I was at my mom's. Yeah, and I was at my mom's and I was talking about it. And then everybody was wanting to do it after that. Everybody was doing it at my mom's, and my cousin, who's not into zodiacs at all, was way to fucking go. Now everybody's doing this. His girlfriend was doing it.
Ass.
Yeah,
that's funny.
But I was reading mine to Nico, and he was just laughing because he was like, "This is literally fucking you." One of the things was I'm really level-headed, and I can come off as I'm very self-aware, and I can come off as confident, but below is a turmoil of emotion. And Nico was like, okay, what the fuck? I was like, yeah. It's it's not wrong.
Oh my god, I have to. Okay, I'm gonna quickly. So I mentioned in the Zodiac episode, my friend Jordan did my natal birth chart for me. And I'm gonna fucking see some of the shit he wrote, because it literally, I read it to my entire family, and they were all like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh wow, we talk a lot more than is convenient currently. Jordan, I still want to talk to you this much. I just mean I'm looking for my thing. Where are you? Oh, we're talking about conspiracy theories. Also, just know that if I ever come up with a really interesting or wild topic for an episode, probably thanks to Jordan. So shout out to you, Jordan. So this is, I got it. So basically he said, I'm a big time moon person with lots of earth and water in my chart, which is effort and emotion. And I'm a geyser of information. Which means that information and conversations and knowledge literally overflows from me into my situation, or surrounding, sorry, not situation. And then more on that later. Where is it?
Were you a moon, was your moon sign also Cancer?
I don't remember.
No. My moon sign is a Capricorn.
I think my moon sign is maybe... I don't know. Does it even say
your sun sign is how you are when you're out in the world, just out in public, how people perceive you. Your moon sign is how you are when you're comfortable with people and when you're at home and by yourself.
How do I figure that out? I think maybe,
if you
did he do that for me? Maybe.
If you just Google a natal birth chart and you put in
my info,
all your infos, it'll tell you what your moon sign is, and then it gives you a write-up on how you is when you're alone, and then there's like how you are, like how you deal with like, there's like one that was like how you are with like conflict and like confrontation.
Oh, that's interesting.
How you are in your love life, like what sign you are in your love life. Yeah, but my moon sign's a Cap.
Good
my
old
sun
Caps.
sign's a Leo.
I don't think he told me those. But yeah, basically he just told me that like I have lots of info and I really like sharing it and I like can't stop myself from sharing it. And when I told my dad that, he was like, "Is he saying that you like to gossip?" I was like, "Fuck." And then at one point it was like, "Your beauty is visible to everyone and a huge source of pride." And I was like, "Oh my god." It's like, literally, how dare you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be modest, Jordan. I'm trying to be modest. No, but thank you so much, Jordan, for doing that. Maybe this will be the last time I talk about it, because I think this is like the third time I've talked about it. But it's really cool, and I loved it.
It is. Yeah, do your natal birth charts. It's freaking wild. I did Nico's, and even like Nico doesn't believe in zodiac shit, and he was like, "I don't believe in this stuff. This is like uncomfortably accurate."
Right?
And I was like, "I told
like,
you."
That's the thing. It's like, and
Yeah.
some people are like, "Well, man, horoscopes are just so generic. Like, you can put yourself in it." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, like maybe your Cosmo fucking zodiac write up.
Yeah.
Or we're not talking about your birth chart, man. This shit is real. It's crazy."
Yeah.
And I just think it's so interesting, for sure.
Well, and like the one thing with like so like it's so funny because my cousin was there, and both my cousin and Nico are Virgos, and like the one thing I said is I was like, Virgos, like you guys like don't share your fucking emotions with anybody, and he's like, "Oh, that's not true," and I was like, okay, this like defense that you're putting up about not sharing your emotions, very Virgo of you.
Yes.
Firstly, sir.
You're like, that sounds like a classic Virgo trait. Thank you very much.
Okay, well,
let's
back to
honestly,
cereal.
Sorry, we love zodiac signs, but yes, let's talk about. We're gonna sober it up, I think, a little bit, because I don't know anything about this guy, but apparently he sucks.
It's pretty fucked. I'm gonna give you guys. I'll give you a trigger warning before. Like, I'll give you a trigger warning now. Most of his victims are young children, women, young girls, not women.
Like just the most vulnerable. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Just giving you a heads up, that's what we're going to be diving into. I will give you a trigger warning before I dive into
the really bad
some
stuff.
of his antics. Yeah. Okay. So, with that being said, you've been warned, and I will warn you later when it gets graphic. Don't you worry. Yes. So, Pedro Alonso Lopez was born October 8th, 1948 in Tolima, Colombia. His father... Sorry. I'm going to be pausing because some of these words, I got Nico to, I pronounce them out and, write it, in brackets beside the words so I would know how to say it properly. Because there's a lot of things in Spanish that I don't know how to pronounce.
It's hard.
So if I pause, that's why. Medardo Reyes was...
pretty good.
I'm going to restart that. His father, Medardo Reyes, was a member of the country's right-wing party and was killed in La Violencia, which, for those of you who don't know, was a 10-year civil war that occurred between 1948 and 1958 between the Colombian Conservative Party and the Colombian Liberal Party.
We're about there currently in America, so keep your eyes out for a 10-year civil war.
Yes. So the area in which Lopez grew up was ruled by riots and many acts of violence. It was not a place where children could want to grow up or even should grow up. So his father, at the time of his father's death, his mother, Belinda, was 3 months pregnant with Pedro. So he never met his dad. He passed away when his mom was pregnant during the Civil War. Really shitty, really awful.
Sad, but also maybe not the worst.
This guy has a fucking rotten childhood, in all honesty. It's genuinely, I was reading this and I'm empathetic to a fault where I can't.
Yeah.
No matter how rotten you are, so I hate Donald Trump. Those pictures of him when he was coming back after nobody went to his thing and he looked so sad, my old man empathy just burst out of me, and then I slapped myself. I was like, wait a fucking minute. Oh my god, never mind.
Okay,
but I saw those and I was like, he looks so old and sad.
Okay, this is really funny because similar thing. I also really hate Donald Trump. But I saw a video where people were making fun of him, which is great. Make fun of him all you want. But it was a video of just, like, him trying to grab Melania's hand, like, to hold it. And she just kept ripping her hand out.
Oh, God.
And, immediately I was like, no, that's so sad. And then I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
My elderly empathy and my, like, children's empathy is just problematic. When I was a kid, I'm not even over exaggerating, I used to cry if I saw old people eating alone in a restaurant when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Oh, my
It would just make me so upset because I would just assume that their spouse was dead.
Yeah.
Like that would be my first thought. I was like, he's eating alone because all of his family's dead because he's so old, and I would just get so upset.
Dani.
And my mom would be like, stop.
Why are we the same
Maybe he's just fucking eating alone.
I didn't. I wouldn't.
Enough.
I don't think I cried, but it would, like, if I thought about it too much, it would ruin my whole day for sure.
I can't help myself.
Yeah.
So I'm trying really hard not to feel bad for this guy, but his childhood is really awful, and I do feel bad.
I think that it's okay to empathize with the shitty things that he went through, especially as a kid when he had no other choice and, you know, he needed someone to protect him. But I think we can separate that from the awful garbage human because, you know what, there's people who go through really shitty childhoods and, like, I mean, I don't know what happened in his childhood, but I'm sure something worse has happened to somebody, and they don't go on to murder, you know, people. So I think we can feel bad, but also separate it.
A shitty childhood is not an excuse to murder people.
Exactly. Yes, agree.
Okay, so back to Pedro. So Pedro was the 7th child among 13 siblings. It isn't clear who every last child's father was. However, as Pedro claimed, his mother was an actively working prostitute as she raised her dozen-plus children. This issue could have easily warped his views of women from a young age. So he hates women, to say the very fucking least. He despises them. Hate is a light word for how he feels about women. He fucking hates women so much. So in addition to her career choice as a mother of 13, Pedro also claimed that Belinda beat him and his many siblings, usually after a client would beat and degrade her. So possibly this was like her form of revenge, like she was taking out on her kids. Yeah. So the vicious cycle of his mom's actions upon him, you'll see this come through later in his later actions. So some reports claim that at the age of 8 in 1957, Pedro was evicted from the family home by his mother because she had caught him touching his younger sister's breast. Other reports claim that he simply ran away. This guy's a fucking compulsive liar, so there's really no way to know what's true and what's not true. So Lopez eventually became one of many homeless children known as gamines. He was begging on the streets when he was approached by a man who sympathized with his situation and offered him a safe home and food to eat. So he was only 8 years old. Keep this in mind. Of course, he was desperately hungry and a child, so he didn't hesitate to take the man up on his offer. Trigger warning. But unfortunately, instead of going to a comfortable, safe home, he was taken to an abandoned building and repeatedly sodomized and then returned to the streets.
Fuck.
Yeah. So this trauma obviously did irreparable damage to his already twisted psyche. And after being assaulted, Lopez rightfully became paranoid of strangers and was hiding during the day and just scavenging and trying to find whatever food he could at night. He would not come out during the day. Yeah. So
that sucks.
Really, really sad. Really shitty, but like one thing that like really pissed me off like reading about a lot of this stuff is like a lot of it was like blaming like the countries, and I'm like, these articles are very obviously fucking written by Americans.
I was gonna say by people
and like
not from
North
there.
American, because even now those places aren't safe places. These places you cannot go out alone at night, like and that's just how it is. There is so much corruption and crime and like it's nothing compared to here. So like a lot of the things that I was reading like kind of like irritated me because like I don't think it's the country's fault that this happened. It's just the fucking way it is over there. It's not.
Well, I think that it's really important to kind of mention how like absolutely fucking fortunate we are with where we live and you know, and particularly in, I mean, really, the States and Canada. You know, that there's
not that things are great in the States. Like, I'm not saying that. There is a lot of issues with, like, race and, like, people being mistreated, but, like...
But it's not
we're not at the
country.
level of... Yeah, it's not a developing country. You're not at the level of not being able to be a female and just walk at... Even during the day. Like, even during the day, you can't be alone.
I was going to say, or even just, an 8-year-old child. You know? Like... Not it's just I don't know, just have a little bit of compassion and empathy and realize that you are so very, very fortunate.
So within a year he left Tolima and traveled to Bogota. While he was there,
an
American
stop you.
couple.
So far your pronunciation is just phenom.
I was reading all these words to Nico and he was telling me exactly how to pronounce them.
Good for you. You did the work. It's paying off. I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
Yes, I have a lot to live up to if I ever do another foreign area. Anyway, sorry, that's that.
No worries. Thank you. So while he was there, an American couple reached out to him after feeling pity for the poor thin boy begging for food. They brought him to their home and enrolled him in a school for orphans. At the age of 12, he had run away and stolen money from the school after one of his male teachers had molested him.
Oh, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So just a lot of fucking sexual assault and introduced to sex at a really young age. Awful. So lacking education and skill, he survived on the streets by begging and committing petty crimes such as theft. 6 years passed before the future monster of Andes left another mark on public record. In 1969, at the age of 18, he was arrested by authorities and sentenced to 7 years in prison for car theft. This was in Colombia, I should say. After only 2 days of him being behind bars, he was gang raped by 4 older inmates.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. This guy's not having a great time.
No. Can't catch a fucking break.
And rather than reporting the crime, he took justice into his own hands and fashioned himself a crude knife and went out for revenge.
Okay, look. Here's what I am not saying murder is litty bo bitty. I'm not saying go out and kill people, but honestly, I can't blame him that much for that because holy shit, I can't even imagine.
No.
So
18 years old and it's already happened to him fucking twice. That's known, like that he's.
Well, I thought that was 3 times.
Talked about. Well, like twice before this.
Oh,
sorry.
yes, sorry. Yeah. So, I mean, talk about...
Twice by different people also, in completely different, like, isolated scenarios. It's not even, like...
The same...
Like, he got off the streets and was adopted by an American family and then fucking molested by one of his teachers.
Yeah.
In, like, a nice school. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, really? Yeah. God.
Anyways, that
at the age of awful. So over the next 2 weeks, he killed 3 of his 4 assailants. Authorities deemed the homicides as self-defense and only added 2 years to his sentence.
Well, you know what? That's what Rosalie Cullen did, and just fucking can't blame you that much.
So during his incarceration, obviously he had a lot of time to revisit his life. And his quiet rage towards his mother became monstrous.
Oh no.
Yes.
Okay,
he also
this
dealt
is where
with
I draw the line.
Yeah, this is where it gets kind of bad.
Yeah.
He also dealt with his sexual needs by browsing pornographic magazines. Between his prostitute for a mother and the pornography being Lopez's only knowledge of women, this really kind of fed his demented hatred for them.
Ladies.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. It's like the I'm gonna like consume this material that you are making, but I'm going to hate you for making it.
Well, you know what I think my favorite part is fuck women when men are the only ones who have fucked me so far. Fuck me over.
Yeah, also that.
Okay, I'm gonna take that out. What? Why you gotta bring us into this? Like,
I guess I can see like the you didn't protect me, but I guess that's the only thing.
But that's like your mom, my guy. That's not every woman.
Yeah, I agree.
So in 1978, at the age of 27, he was released from prison, and
almost immediately. He was in there for 9 years.
Yeah, because he was sentenced to 7 years, and then he had 2 years added for killing those guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At the age of 27, he was released from prison, and he almost immediately moved to Peru and began his kidnapping and killing spree. So he would start stalking young girls, usually in plain sight, mainly watching them go into grocery stores with their mothers. So he was particularly interested in girls of European descent. but he later claimed that their parents were too watchful for him to actually kidnap them and kill them. So instead, he focused on indigenous Peruvian children with apparently less attentive parents, making it easier for him to plan and plot his actions against them without adult or police intervention. Yeah. Oh, it gets fucking worse, like, in terms of that. You just wait.
Oh, God.
So once the girls noticed him, he would do whatever it took to get them alone, luring them away with what he called gifts and trinkets, offering things like a hand mirror, as an example. So as soon as they got far enough away from where he had kidnapped them, he would methodically begin his horrible plan. Lopez estimated that he had raped and slain at least 100 young girls in Peru, averaging 3 a week for the time he was there.
Holy shit!
Yeah. His specialty being abducting, like I said, children from local indigenous tribes. This actually backfired when he was captured by the Ayachucos in northern Peru while attempting to abduct a 9-year-old girl.
Go fuck yourself.
Yep. The group stripped him, beat him, and tortured him.
Ooh,
he was nearly buried alive when a female American missionary intervened.
No! God damn it!
Yeah.
No!
She convinced them that it was better for the tribe to deliver him to the authorities rather than take justice into their own hands. So reluctantly, they agreed and turned him over.
Okay.
The Peruvian authorities
Like a
declined.
Christian missionary, right?
Yep. So the authorities declined wasting valuable time on indigenous complaints, and instead of investigating the attempted abduction, they just deported him back to Colombia.
Jesus Christ, I'm so angry.
Yeah. So there's 3 places. Okay. So far he's only been killing in one of them. So there's still fucking more to come.
Great.
So Peru was the first place where his killing spree took place. So obviously experiencing near death did not influence his murderous ways, because his killing of young girls just continued. So after he was deported, he began traveling widely in Colombia and Ecuador. A sudden rash of missing girls in 3 adjacent nations were ascribed to the activities of slavery or prostitution rings, but authorities had no evidence and no suspects. So all these girls were going missing. Parents were putting ads up in the newspaper, like, whatever, doing, like, everything that, as a parent, if your child goes missing, everything that you could fucking do. But they had no proof, no evidence, nothing. Like, they had fuck all. So they were like, well, there's a lot of sex rings and there's a lot of slavery here. So that's probably what happened.
Okay.
And, like, that's it. Like, it happens. That's probably what happened.
Okay.
Shoulder shrug.
Great.
Yeah. So
that's
in
it.
April,
That's our job. That's done. Great.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to do anything else, do we?
Nope, apparently not.
Ugh. Anger.
So in April of 1980, a flash flood near Ambato, Ecuador, uncovered the remains of 4 missing children. Days after the discovery, this is my favorite fucking part, Carvina Poveda saw Lopez leaving Plaza Rosa Marketplace with her 12-year-old daughter. She summoned help from locals, and the townspeople captured Lopez and held him until the police got there. Yes. I was reading this all to Nico last night, and he said that is a fucking huge thing that happens in Ecuador. Like, there's a lot of crime there.
Like,
and
citizens arrest?
Citizens are, like, the people who aren't committing the crime are like, fuck this, and, like, they will take it into their own hands, like, all the time. He's like, there's, like, if something happened, if, like, you were like, oh my god, that guy stole my purse, and you told, like, one person, like, they would be, like, 10 people chasing that man down the street.
I love that.
Yeah, the citizens are like, fuck these people who are committing these crimes and making this beautiful country an awful place to live.
Good.
So
I love to hear it.
yes. So obviously he went into custody and the police questioned him but got nothing. He literally just sat there in silence. Wouldn't give him anything. So since he refused to cooperate with the authorities, they were forced to try a new strategy. They ultimately decided to disguise Father Cordoba Gudino as a fellow inmate. Don't really know why they chose a priest.
I was going to say, a priest?
I still don't really. Yeah, they chose a priest. I don't fully understand that one.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe he's, like, softer and he's, like, more approachable. I don't know. There's no, like, in any article that I read in my book that I was reading about him, there's nothing mentioning why they chose a priest. It's just, yeah, it was a priest. I don't know why.
That's odd.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, me neither. But you know what? it do be like that sometimes, I guess.
I guess.
Maybe they were
the
just
only one available. I don't know.
Maybe they drew straws and all the police officers were like,
straw.
yeah.
Sorry,
You
father.
can do it, father. The father's like, I don't know anything about the law. They're like, you'll do great.
That's okay. So, yeah, they dressed him up as a fellow inmate and placed him in a cell with Lopez. So once gaining Lopez's trust, Gudino was able to get a confession from him, as well as details about sites where the victims had been buried. Once confronted by the police about the crimes he shared with his cellmate, Lopez broke down and confessed. His memory of the crime was very clear, which was remarkable since he confessed to killing at least 110 children in Ecuador, more than 100 kids in Colombia, and another 100 in Peru. Yeah. In a span of like a decade.
In 300 kids?
Yeah.
That's
so
like
Lopez
if you killed one child every single day for a year.
Literally. Yeah. This guy's fucked.
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
That is a lot of kids.
He admitted that he would walk the street looking for innocent girls who he could lure away with the promise of gifts. He even once told the police, this part made me very upset, I like the girls in Ecuador. They're more gentle and trusting. They are not as suspicious of strangers as Colombian girls are.
Okay.
Fuck you, Pedro.
Fuck you, Pedro.
Literally, fuck you. This is where the trigger warning comes in.
Okay.
This next little bit is not very nice. Yeah, skip ahead like 3 minutes if you don't want to hear this.
Oh God, I'm stressed.
Yeah, it's not very nice. So Lopez often brought the girls to prepared graves, sometimes filled with the dead bodies of other girls that he had killed. He would calm the child with soft, reassuring words throughout the night. In fact, it wasn't just killing people that gave him a rush, as his victims were carefully chosen to ensure he'd enjoy the experience to its fullest. The monster of Andes always strangled his victims first thing in the morning after kidnapping them and lulling them to sleep with him in an abandoned place. They would wake up with his hands around their throat in the middle of a sexual assault, and seeing their terrified and shocked reactions as the sun rose was what Lopez desired the most. Most killers commit their crimes in the dead of night to avoid suspicion and escape with ease, yet Lopez frighteningly proved it's shockingly easy to get away with murder in plain daylight as well. He never killed at night because he could not see his victim's eyes, and he felt without that element, the murder was a waste. In the course of his confessions, yeah, this guy's fucked up. It's like
a waste.
Yeah.
Wow. What
the fuck? In the course of his confessions, he made an effort to invest his crimes with philosophical trappings. Mm-hmm. I lost my innocence at the age of 8, he told interrogators, so I decided to do the same to as many young girls as I could. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
He would troll village markets for selected targets with a certain look of innocence. He allegedly sought out one victim immediately after another, with his bloodlust becoming more insatiable over time. He even said he would have tea parties and play morbid games with the deceased children. He would prop them up in their graves and talk to them, God. Convincing himself that his little friends liked the company.
No, I can fucking promise they don't.
No. The police found that his ghastly confession so hard to believe, so Lopez actually took them to the graves of the children. More than 53 bodies were found while Lopez just stood there in chains, which was enough for investigators to take his word on the 300-plus victims. This was just in Ecuador, also. So they're still in Ecuador, and 53 bodies were found in Ecuador. So originally he was charged with 53 murders, and it was later boosted to 110 as a result of his overly detailed confession.
Holy shit.
So they didn't even find all the bodies. Obviously, he doesn't know the fucking names of these people. He was taking, like children from, tribes and, there's a lot of poverty. He was taking, lower class children. Yeah. And
kids who
their parents can't afford to put ads in the fucking newspaper.
Yeah, and who police are not gonna look for.
Exactly.
Sorry to interrupt. When was this? What year?
He got caught in 1980.
Oh wow.
That's when he was caught in Ecuador.
Okay.
Yeah. So this kind of went on from 1970 to 1980 ish.
That is not that long ago.
Nope, not at all. I think because he got out of jail in.
He's out of jail.
No. When he got
okay.
In 78.
Okay.
So he got out of jail in 78, and was caught in 1980 in Ecuador. Okay. So for his crimes of raping, killing, and mutilating over 100 children, Lopez received a life sentence. During the trial, he was declared insane and ordered to serve his sentence in a psychiatric hospital. He never showed remorse for his crimes. In a prison interview with journalist Ron Leitner, he said that if he ever got out of prison, he would happily return to killing young children. The pleasure he received from his demented acts of murder overpowered any sense of right from wrong, and he admittedly looked forward to the next opportunity to wrap his hands around the throat of his next child.
Fuck.
This is where shit gets fucking shitty. If it wasn't already shitty, it gets shittier.
This is where shit gets shitty.
So, if you don't know, a life sentence in Ecuador only amounts to 16 years.
What?
Yep. And consecutive terms are forbidden by law.
What?
After this case with Pedro, it was up to 25 years because of the public outrage that people had that this man was only going to be in prison for 16 years.
Good. This is good, I suppose.
On August 31st, 1994, he was released from the Garcia Moreno prison after serving 14 years, having been released 2 years early on good behavior. He was summarily deported to Colombia, where authorities attempted to convict him of a 2-decade-old murder, but instead Lopez was declared insane, and in 1995, he was institutionalized in a psychiatric facility. In February of 1998, he was declared sane and released under $50 in bail.
$50?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
With additional stipulations, being that he had to meet with a parole officer and all this shit.
$50.
Yep. He went back and visited his elderly mother.
Okay.
And she said that he asked for his inheritance, and then upon being informed that she was fucking broke as shit and living in poverty,
surprise!
She was a prostitute with 13 children. Pedro.
Yeah. What do you think is gonna happen?
What inheritance?
Also, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
you think you
literally.
deserve that? Even if she had an inheritance.
Yeah. So he stole her sole bed and chair and sold it on the street. So she had one bed and one chair, and he stole it and sold it. And then he vanished.
What?
And is still living at large today.
What? No. Stop.
Yep. Nope. Dead
no.
fucking serious. Dead serious. Yeah. They have not found him. There is a warrant out for his arrest because in 2002 there was a murder and it matched his MO. So they think it was him, but they have no fucking idea where he is. No idea. And he is still out there. So if he was alive, he'd be pretty old, but I mean...
He's living as a free-ass man. Oh my god.
He would be 72 if he was still alive, which honestly, my grandpa's 75, and my grandpa could take out like middle-aged man.
An 8-year-old child?
Also an 8-year-old child. I mean, he would never, but like my grandpa's fit enough that like he could, you know, like it's not impossible for him to do so. So you can actually find in Guinness history, as in the Guinness Book of World Records, not the beer.
This is in such poor taste.
Yeah. So they decided to do away with their more violent and terrifying designations on their list, worried that some people might try to beat them. Fucking fair enough. So Pedro Lopez was actually the most prolific serial killer in the Guinness Book of World Records. But obviously they took that out because kind of in poor taste. Guinness.
Yeah, like what?
That's not really like a world record that we're looking to beat.
But yeah, like what do you hear someone else try for it?
Yeah.
That makes me want to die.
Yeah, so he claimed over 300 victims across 3 countries in less than a decade. As we said, he was killing as many as 3 girls a week, greater numbers than any other menace in society ever has. This is why it makes him one of the worst criminals in history. Fuck this guy, and he's still fucking out there, for all we know. He might be dead. Somebody interviewed his mom, and she said she doesn't think he's dead.
What? Based off of just because she just has a feeling?
She just has a feeling. She doesn't think he's dead. She thinks he's still out there.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. I can't read his whole story, and then I like did all this fucking research, and then at the end I was like, oh fuck. I was like, fuck. Like, I mean, everything you did was so awful, but this man is literally still out there.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck if he's 72.
when you said that was not a good ending, I did not realize that's
Yeah.
what you meant.
Yep.
Yeah, that is hot garbage.
The guy who was, like, one of the, I guess he was, like, he, like, ran the prison that he was in Ecuador.
The
like
warden? The warden?
Yeah, the warden. He said that man should never fucking be out of jail, like, sane or not. Like, no.
He deserves
he
another
should never.
chance.
Yeah, he said like,
I know.
he said there's literally, like, he should not be able to fucking step foot outside of these gates. This man is so beyond fucked.
I'm just gonna bring it on back to fuck you, missions lady.
Yeah, literally.
Like, no offense, but, like, bruh.
This, like, I mean, 100 is already awful. This could have stopped at 100.
Yeah.
But you had to intervene?
I don't want to say anything too inflammatory, but, like, don't go on missions trips.
Oh, I don't like missions trips.
I don't think they're good.
Say it. I don't think they're good either.
I think they're bad. Sorry. I'm sorry, everyone.
I think there's a better way to do it than forcing Christianity upon people who don't practice.
That's the problem. If you want to go out and help, that is so amazing. And if you want to build schools, that is so amazing. And I love that. But you can't
do it without religion.
But, well, yeah, it's just, you can't. Yeah, like, we'll feed you and, like, we'll help you. Like, I'll take a break from, like, my fucking first world life, and I'll come over here and I'll build you a school, but only if you sit there for 2 hours every night and listen to me preach.
Talk about God. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't dig with that. Sorry.
I don't jive with
Catholic people of the world. I ain't down with it.
Yeah. If you want to go help, that is, like, 100 out of 10 amazing.
Hey, Jade fucking did it. I think we were 15, and she went to, like, Tanzania. And it wasn't a mission trip. She went to Tanzania and was, like, helping in, like, orphanages and stuff.
Jade, wonderful, sweet angel lady baby.
Chef's kiss of a woman.
She is a chef's kiss of a woman. I love her. But, yeah, you don't,
You don't have to bring God into everything.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not really the point.
I was going to say, not super relevant, but just also something about us.
Just something about mission trips while we're
here
on the topic, because I don't think we'll be on the topic of this ever again.
But it's kind of hard, I guess, because, like, if I were in that position where I was there and I just was seeing people literally torture a man to death, I probably would say something thinking I was doing the right thing. This is why I don't go on mission trips, so I'm not faced with these choices.
This is the only reason why.
Yeah, one and only.
The one and only.
Yeah.
Too many hard decisions.
Fuck Pedro Lopez.
Yeah.
Fuck getting out 2 years early after murdering 300 people on.
And then fuck you for doing it again.
And
he got out early
and then did it again.
What the fuck?
Also, fuck you for being still at large. Pedro, if you're listening to this,
go
fuck yourself.
Literally.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Man. Yeah, your childhood sucked. Don't get me wrong, that's awful, and I'm so sorry that all happened to you. But that doesn't make this okay. Like you don't. That's not how it works.
Yeah, your twisted, fucked up, like, awful childhood. You taking that out and doing that to hundreds of other people and is not bringing justice to the shit that happened to you.
I lost my innocence when I was 8, so I'm gonna do that to other people. Like, are you dumb? Listen to yourself.
Yeah, this is the thing with, like, psychotic people that, like, it's just so fascinating to me because, like, in my mind, I didn't have the best childhood. Like, my mom's fantastic, but, like, in turn, I didn't have a great childhood. I would never fucking want my kid or any other kid to have to deal with the shit that I dealt with as a kid. Never.
Yeah, you don't
literally,
put them
and I would do anything in my fucking power to prevent that.
That's because you're an awesome person. Do be true. So yeah,
awful, right? I know.
Yeah. I think
This is why I forewarned you yesterday to find a really goddamn happy ending.
Okay,
to talk about.
I have a happy thing, but I don't think it's, like, really goddamn happy. But it's happy for me.
Okay, well, yeah, like we said in the last serial killer episode, we're gonna end these guys off on a little, like, positive note.
Yeah.
Because this is shitty, and you know what? It's not a way to end your day.
No.
Or start your morning. I don't know when you're listening, but
hopefully not over your morning eggs. This is not a morning egg combo. But
when do you listen to podcasts? I always listen to them in the morning.
I normally...
Like first thing in the morning.
Is
that weird?
Fucking crazy. I mean, like, I guess, but I try to not, like, I'm not gonna listen to this literally at 7:30 a.m. I normally listen to it when I'm driving places. So sometimes in the morning, I guess, but if I'm listening in the morning, I'll probably do something not so intense. You're a psychopath. That's okay. We love you for it anyways.
Time is not prevalent in my life.
No.
I don't care what time of day
Time
it is.
a man-made construct.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I will go first. I'll give you a minute to chill from talking so much.
Thank you.
I know, very thoughtful of me. I think that my happy this week is... I'm gonna take this kind of shitty thing that's going on, which is not allowed to leave our house, and I'm gonna flip it. My happy this week is that I have been getting to spend a lot of time with my family, like my sisters, and my dad and my stepmom. We've been watching lots of Fear Factor, which has been cool, and yesterday, my dad made dinner. He said it's a collab, but only because he's really nice. But he made dinner, and I tried a new tofu recipe, and it was really good, and so we had that. So I've just been getting to hang out with them lots, and that, I think, is my happy this week. Although that's a double-edged one, though, because I didn't get to see my mom on Sunday, because we normally do Sunday dinners at her house. But we're going to socially distance have dinner tomorrow, so I will get to see her tomorrow.
Very nice. That's awesome.
What about you?
My happy is that I have actually been having time to cook again lately.
Oh, good.
Yeah. For those of you who
happy.
don't know, I really, really like cooking. Like, I really enjoy it.
And she's really, 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 really good at it. Like, annoyingly good, because she also doesn't use recipes. She just knows what to do.
Yeah, don't ask me how I make things, because I won't be able to tell you.
Yeah, she's so good at it. Ugh. Anyway, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, so I've been actually, like, having time to, like, cook lately. I mean, it's not that I've been, like, ordering out. I mean, I do order out a decent amount, because my schedules are so fucking jam-packed. But, like, usually, like, lately I've just been having, like, pre-made shit that's, like whatever, I can just, like, cook it really easily, and, like, I don't actually have to, like, make anything. But
like
this past week exactly. But this past week I've had lots of time to cook, and it's been a ball, and I miss cooking so much.
Aww.
I'm gonna make prawn scampi for dinner tonight.
Ooh, yum! That
Making it
is
for myself
because
Nico doesn't like prawns, so fuck you, Nico. More for me.
I'll eat the prawns. You eat scampi.
Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, you can have boxed mac and cheese in that case if you don't want my prawn scampi. There's Annie's in the cupboard. Go for it.
Yeah, it is all yours.
Yeah, so that's my happy.
That is a good happy.
Been having time to cook.
Yes, also, the tofu balance. I made really... Did you say work-life balance?
Yeah, shout out to Sephora.
Oh my god, Sephora! Thank you so much. Instilling these values. Yes. Oh my god, can you still remember
you instilled the values, but you didn't give them to me. But you know what? I know what they are, so...
Story for another time.
Was RFA one of the values? No.
Oh, yes, RFA is a value. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, oh my god, RFA.
Fuck RFA.
Respect for all,
I'm
everybody.
not disrespecting you by saying, I'm going to go to Cactus Club and have a Bellini after work. That's not fucking disrespecting anybody.
RFA, Dani.
Oh
my god.
I remember Pedro Lopez literally happened to me at work.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, I was talking
exactly
with somebody.
Who did it to you too.
Yeah. I was talking with somebody about, like, going out to Cactus Club, and I was like, yeah, like, we're going to have dinner and a few drinks. And someone was like, RFA, Dani. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I'm going to Cactus Club and having dinner and a few drinks?
I'm legal, bitch.
What do you mean, RFA? Who am I disrespecting by saying that?
Look, all I'm saying is that if Pedro Lopez lived off of the Sephora values, he would have been a better person for it.
Yes. Everybody
RFA, Pedro, RFA. Yeah. So I think this is a pretty long one now. So I think we're gonna close this off.
Yeah.
Where can people find us, Dani?
You can find us on Instagram at silenceofthehags. I will post photos of this vile motherfucker. You can find us on Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Anchor.
Nice.
You can also email us at silenceofthehags@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
For all your questions, comments, and concerns. You can also DM us because we'll probably see it a lot quicker on our Instagram than we will on our email because we don't check our email. Also, on my phone, I have like several different emails. Like I have like my personal email, the podcast email, and like every time I open up my email, I have like 20 emails, and I open up my email like 10 times a day. Like I always have fucking emails. Like I have so many.
It gets overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, and I might just glaze right over it because.
So email us. We will get back to you eventually.
Yes.
But we're saying it might be a little bit faster.
If it's urgent, call 911. If it's less urgent, non-emergency, DM us on Instagram.
And then if it's just like, whatever, email. And please make sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. That is so helpful. That's how people see our stuff on Apple, is if you give us good reviews. I think we're sitting at a 5-star rating right now, which is 10 out of 10. Thank you so much. You guys are the freaking best. And yeah, we love you. Thank you for taking this journey with us.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, it's been real, my friends.
It's been real and real shitty, but mostly just real. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much. And bye.
Bye-bye.